How is XSplit, by the way?
It's good, but we're recording. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the SmithSquad Podcast. And today I've got a we haven't talked in a while, but a very long time known guest, and that is YouTube.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Uoon.
Yeah, so dude, I think of all the people on YouTube I've known, I think you are the longest, actually.
Yeah, I still remember it quite well.
Yeah,
We've
so
got we've got like an origin story.
or maybe you're my second. I don't know, but anyways, I uploaded a video about Mercadurka. I think I had made I had to make some sort of paper on someone I find inspirational, and we had to do a lot of research on the person. And I was like, well, I could do it on like just some random person, or I could do it on a YouTuber because then I get to watch YouTube videos throughout the class to get like cool quotes from them and stuff. And I made this essay about Mercadurka, who used to make YouTube videos, and he liked it. And one of the people who commented on the video was Yoon, and he's like, "Hey man, this is pretty cool. We should do a dual com." And at that point, I think you had maybe 1,000 or like I'm not really sure what your
I
sub
think it
count
was
was.
smaller than that. I think
Was it?
it might have been more like I had about 300 and you had about 200. It
No,
could be
man,
as small as that.
you were like a god to me. Like you had like at least like I think I had like 100 maybe, and you had like five at least.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was
I
like,
think it was fairly small considering where we are now.
yeah,
But
yeah. It was like the most exciting thing ever. It's like, oh my god, someone wants to make a video with me, because I was like I think I've been making videos for at least maybe a month or so, and I didn't really know anybody in the community or anything like that. And then you wanted to make a video, which I don't think we ever ended up doing that, but you led me on to Legacy Gaming Hub, which was kind of like the breakthrough moment I found for my channel.
oh, that was great back in the day. I mean,
Yeah, when that was like really going strong, like there was like so it was a community channel, and there was like probably 20 people in it, all of like ranging from size from like probably 50 subs to up I think like 1,000 maybe was like the top. And oh dude, it was just like such a good experience as a new YouTuber, like meeting all these people that like shared your passion and want like kind of wanted the same thing as you, and was just willing to collaborate.
oh yeah, it was great. I remember I created a like a datage for All or Nothing on Modern
Right.
Warfare
I
3,
actually think I might remember that.
and I got this comment from Legacy Gaming Hub, and it was run by a guy called Cody,
Yes,
who still to
Cody.
this day he understands YouTube probably better than I think anyone I've ever spoken to. That guy could grow a one sub channel to like 500 subs in a week.
Yeah, Cody just
He's good at startups. He's good at
he
startup
is
channels.
very good at startups, but yeah, he's what even was the problem with Legacy Gaming Hub though? I'm just thinking like
It started getting like
was it like getting botted or
yeah,
something?
it got botted really badly.
Yeah,
And
like
I don't think they
videos.
ever found out who was doing it.
Yeah, it was
And
getting like
and
3,000
and
views.
if you get botted, then Google will destroy you
Yeah,
because
you
like
basically just
it
get
just
owned.
assumes that you're doing it to yourself to boost your views, and suddenly you'll never see. If you were to search even Legacy Gaming Hub, you might not even find one of their videos because Google just disregards you. It's like you're not even on the internet anymore.
Yeah, you're dead to them. You're like, "Oh, you're going to do this? No, you're gone. You're gone." That's really weird though, because like that would be so easy to do to someone who's like a relatively, decent sized channel. Because if you're PewDiePie, a couple thousand views isn't gonna affect you.
You need hundreds of bots probably
Yeah, yeah. So that wouldn't work.
to take down PewDiePie. Let's start now. We'll get a few bots. We'll round them up. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you hear about all that drama about this PewDiePie thing?
No, I really haven't actually.
See, I don't even like going into drama, but basically, I mean, it's Keemstar, so
What a surprise.
yeah, right. But Keemstar has like someone like a friend or someone who was getting in all of PewDiePie's like on the sidebar, and he apparently didn't understand why he was doing so, which I kind of doubt. But
Hmm. Playing innocent.
yeah, and then a YouTuber who I don't really want to name because I don't like I think he's a good guy, and I don't want to like draw more attention to him than he really needs because a lot of people are hating him right now. But like he was like, dude, how do you do this? Like this is just like a good good way to grow my channel, whatever. You want to do your thing. And then in that call, Keemstar came onto it, like as they were talking about like paying for this and stuff, and like it's like, oh, what are you doing? And he's just starting a big old drama. And basically, I think what you do is you put closed captions as like tags now. Like it's crazy.
Really?
So like the old thing you do was like you put your tags in the description. A lot of people
Yeah.
did that, and then like Mr. Technical Difficult, who had like 2 million subscribers, and a couple of other people got banned. So everyone's like, okay, well we can't do that now. So what are we gonna do? And then like a month later, people just find something else out. It's crazy.
Oh, it's always changing. It's always adapting. It's
Yeah, there's always gonna be someone that's like fighting the exploit, the way to make your video most searchable, most found, whatever.
oh, I think if I tried to start a YouTube channel now, it would be unless you're really one of the original guys out there, which I'm really not.
Yeah,
I made Call of Duty videos and did live commentaries and things like that, like everybody else.
yeah,
But it's gotta be next to impossible. Like,
yeah. I think if I had to grow a channel and it wasn't like enjoyment based, it was just be as big as possible. I'd probably do like, I don't know at this point. Maybe like Vine compilations. Those do really well. Like I know a guy who did like 4 of them, and they got like a combined total of over 1 million views.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Because back in the day, it was if you don't post Call of Duty, then your
you're
gaming
screwed.
channel's not gonna do it well at all. Suddenly people broke out of that, and it was all about sort of PC gameplay.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
now
it.
you can't even get to the games first because they're getting sent to the big
Big
YouTubers
YouTubers.
to
Yeah,
to get publicity and stuff like that. So it's very very difficult. And I have no tips or guides. Like I felt like I grew my channel really fast for back in the day.
yeah.
And we say back in the day, this was
I know it's not even
coming
back
up
in the day, right?
coming up for 2 years though. Like
Yeah, but like
it's
if you
coming
think
up.
really back in the day, like the Modern
Mhm.
Warfare 2 days, it's not even close.
Yeah, and it's just I think there's still a lot of people, probably quite a lot of younger people who are like, oh, I need to get into YouTube to make some of that money.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
I, if you're job wise, I think the door is almost shut on that because
it's. I mean,
CPMs are getting lower.
yeah. Ad block is just killing it,
Oh yeah,
and a
yeah.
lot of people are.
Adblock's free, isn't it? You can it's
Yeah,
just a Google extension.
yeah. Google extension, which is weird because you'd think it's making Google less money.
Yeah, you think they'd at
And
least charge like money for it, make
yeah,
people try and illegally download it and destroy their computers with malware and stuff.
yeah. And then I mean, you got like people don't make money off of mobile views, and that makes up like at least sixty
Oh my
percent.
god, I pretty much watch all my YouTube videos on my phone because I don't have
Yeah.
time to set up my computer and
Yeah, exactly. And more and
watch
more
videos.
people are doing that. So
Mhm.
like if you're in it for the money, it's like, ugh, good luck, man. You gotta
Yeah,
be a PewDiePie or something like that.
it sounded like a dream job back in the day,
Back in
and
the day
and
when
I think that was always in my mind was like the dream. Like I loved making videos, and I still do, even though like my channel's sort of dead and it doesn't grow, and I don't really care about that. I just like making videos for fun. But
right.
in the back of my head, back in the day, I was like, how sweet would that be to have YouTube as your job?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I think the more I've done YouTube and the more I've learned, I, s- I think I don't think that would be a good career for me
I think
anymore. The
I
amount
think
of
you'd hate
time
it
you have to,
eventually.
yeah, the amount of
Yeah.
time you have to sit at a computer, and there's no days off
There are definitely
really
no days
in YouTube.
off.
Even if you do all your videos in a day, which is what I tend to do, is I'll have a free day and I'll make like 5 videos and I'll upload them all when I go to college, where the
Right.
internet is sweet. But if you're doing it for a living, you literally have to do, even if it's not making videos, there's something on YouTube, some sort of promotional stuff on Twitter that you have to do every single day.
Yeah,
There's no days off, or else
and
people forget who you are.
even if you don't, you're thinking about it is the thing. I know, like when you're your own boss and you're like the motivated type that you want to do well on YouTube, you're never gonna leave it.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I think what happens to the people who like really really get into it, like for a job, is at first it's like, oh my god, this is the best job ever, and then it probably becomes just like any other job, is what I would suspect.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it better than, whatever? Probably better than a lot of jobs, but at the same time, it is just going to be eventually be another job, no matter what you put on it.
And it's such a short time frame as well, even if you did start back in the day. Like all the YouTubers that I used to love watching, I would say the majority of them don't post anymore and have moved on to other jobs, or like completely, or they've got jobs through their YouTube.
Yeah, like how many of the original Modern Warfare 2 COD 4 commentators are still left? Like
the only one I can really think of, and I don't even really watch him anymore, is like X Calazars.
Is he still? Okay.
He does, but it's not really Call of Duty. It's like it's Let's Plays. That guy though is like a gamer. That guy's
and he's definitely someone who does it because they love it still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He'll play games till he dies. Actually,
dude.
He's gonna become a game.
So when did you get into like the COD community, sort of like watching it on YouTube?
I'll take you through the whole story because it kind of all goes together for me. So World at War Zombies, I didn't know about the COD Online. I remember hearing about a couple of guys couple of years below me who were playing Call of Duty, and I was just like, nerds.
Yeah.
I'm out here playing soccer, and I didn't really like put any thought towards it. But then I've got this friend called Liam, and we've always sort of played games just sort of casually, and we played through the World at War campaign, and then we played the zombies. And that was really good fun. We'd sort of drink beers and play zombies.
Yes.
And then one summer, I think it was after my first year of university, Liam called me up when I was at work. And he was like, dude, I need an email address and some details so that I can get an Xbox Live account. And I was like, sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen? So we got all that working. And so for the last few days of summer, we played Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay.
It was so much fun, and we were awful. Like we didn't even count how many deaths we had. We just were trying to get over 10 kills in a game.
So that would have been late into Modern Warfare 2. In the summertime, because it released in November.
Yeah, coming to the end, and then that's when I started watching videos, because even though I didn't have an Xbox of my own and I couldn't play, I was like, I don't like being bad at this. Like, I'm not used to being bad at like competitive things. I want to be good at it. So I remember watching the Machinima videos and watching Hutch, and like you didn't take any notice of who was actually talking. You just watched the video. But the first person who I ever like went to their specific channel, I think, was Hutch.
Okay.
Hutch C-Nanners, and then through Hutch I found Woody's Gamertag, and it sort of just evolved from there. Yeah,
and you just find more and more people and all that kind of stuff.
And I watched videos through university, and then Black Ops 1 came out, and I watched videos. And that Christmas, because I didn't know how to have an Xbox Live at my university campus because there was a VPN. I think these days I would be able to crack that and would have been able to play it on their super college internet.
Right, yeah, you're saying.
But that Christmas I started playing Black Ops 1, and that was sort of when everything sort of took off. And I could only play on my breaks from university, so I get to play Xbox during the summer and during the winter, and that's when I played. But during like actual semester times, I'd play zombies with my friend just offline.
Right, like Black Ops 1 zombies.
Yeah, we were into it. Was Kino der Toten.
Mm-hmm.
And mind we got to like round 70 or something, and we've been playing all day and made like literally from the morning till the early hours the next day, and we'd had like so many breaks, and we were really drunk, and it was so awesome. And then I'd go to sleep and I'd dream about zombies.
Yeah. Man, that's so weird, because that is like so similar to me. Like I was the exact same thing. My first thing I think I ever, first COD I ever played was COD 4, but that was just at a friend's house, and it was sort of the same thing. Like, oh, this is nerdy. I don't really like this. I sucked. Like no kills on like a game of like Shipment or something crazy like that. And then like a year later, my friend had got World at War for the PlayStation 3, and we played multiplayer a bit, and then he's like, a couple days later, he beat the campaign, and he's like, dude, I got this crazy like zombie game mode, and it's like the best thing ever. You got to come over and try this. So we played it, and I think our first time we made it to like round 4 or 5, and it was Nocturne Totem, like the very first one that you unlock after beating a campaign, and it was like, oh my god. And it's weird because like 4 or 5 years later, I get into zombies on my YouTube channel, but like the first time I played it, I was like, this is what I was meant to do on video games. It's like, this is like the best thing ever. So like that just got me super into it. And like 2 days later, I went out and I got a PlayStation 3 just so I could play zombies. Because I had a PlayStation 2, and I even had the World at War equivalent for PlayStation 2. But you couldn't play zombies on that version because it was like a different... It was like the same game, but like they remapped it and they couldn't fit zombies all on it.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So I got that, and then I kind of got into the multiplayer thing and all that stuff. But zombies was still like my focus. And then like I was like, oh my god, they're gonna go with more maps. This is amazing, and I bought them all. Finally, like the last map pack was Doris, and like that was like just the most amazing thing ever. And I was like having a heart attack, and it was so much fun. Like I just remember playing that for hours.
I missed out on all those maps because I didn't know they existed. I didn't know what DLC was back then.
Yeah.
I only ever got to play them when they remastered them for the Resurrection map pack and the map pack.
Yeah. Well, the first two, Verrucht and Shinonuma, were not bad, and like I do enjoy them, but most people didn't really, especially most people didn't enjoy Verrucht, which was like this. You're in like an insane asylum.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, that was the first one that had perks though. Like you had Juggernog and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then like when Doris came out, it was like like that just like launched zombies into everything that it is now. But yeah, I got into like the actual COD community on YouTube. I think in Modern Warfare 2 as well. And I was watching. I remember my first video ever was a Wings of Redemption video that. It's his most viewed video today. It was how to level up fast in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
And it was
it's on that scrapyard.
Yeah, throw the care pack. Get your not care package. Was it the airdrop?
The airdrop, yeah.
The emergency airdrop. And from there, like it must have been a couple like months later, I found a YouTuber called Mr. Phantasmo. And he had this thing called Nugget Nation, which was I don't know if you like, do you know anything about that or?
Not really. I learned about Mr. Phantasmo when Woody's Gamertag did March Madness.
Right.
For the first time.
Yes. So yeah, he was like just a normal commentator with the most diehard fans I've still seen to date. Like they were hardcore fans, and it was called Nugget Nation because like he called his subscribers Nuggets, and like everyone was just so passionate. And like it was the coolest thing to be a part of when he was growing and getting bigger. And then like from there, like you said, like he went on I think March Madness as well as Painkiller already. And like that was just like my eye opener to the COD community. Like I found Woody's Gamertag, Wings of Redemption, all those cool people, and just kind of transpired from there.
Do you know what would be really cool? You know how you did your sort of synopsis of Twitch plays Pokemon?
Yeah.
That would be really cool to do for like the Call of Duty community. A like timeline.
That would be a good idea.
Timeline
man.
of that. Like
dude,
we weren't there from the very start.
No.
But because so much happened. Like
that's such a good idea.
You should do that. That would take a lot of effort and a lot.
I'd have to talk to a lot of those old school YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Which would not be easy to get in contact with.
There was some sort of amazing feeling back then when Call of Duty was new to me,
cool.
And then like there was this huge community online of people who just felt the exact same about Call of Duty.
Yeah, and you know, you hated the noob tubers and all that stuff, and like everyone was just, you know, everyone was like, there weren't that many YouTubers, so when, you know, like a good YouTuber came out, or you know, you found a new one, it was really cool because they all knew each other and all that stuff. Yeah. And I mean, like I wasn't making videos back then, and I thought it was cool. So I just wonder what it would have been like to be in that YouTube community back then.
Oh yeah,
that would have been amazing.
I wanted to make YouTube videos like that, like for so long before I managed to.
Yeah, me too.
My issue was I could only play Call of Duty like twice a year. That was my right. And, like I still managed to play a hell of a lot of Call of Duty, and there's like in those breaks. Like I played Black Ops 1 for the first time in a long time the other day.
Yeah.
I have 30 days played on that game.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a good game. Yeah, see, I made my first, actually, I guess I made my first, video game. I made a zombies video for Shino Numa when that released for World at War, but that was like a screen record. And I wasn't really doing it like hardcore or anything. I just oh, this would be interesting. Didn't know anything about the gaming community.
I know, it's crazy to think people were that far ahead and capture cards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when the Dazzle was about. Things like that.
Yeah, and then I tried to get into multiplayer videos for COD in Black Ops 1, and that did not go well for me. I only made like 3 or 4 videos, and I was like, oh, I'll try Minecraft. Like, Syndicate's doing this might do well, and that didn't go well. It took a long time to get into the gaming scene, man.
Mm-hmm.
It took me years.
I sort of went straight for, I started posting videos halfway through Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
And I kind of just bypassed that. I went back to bypassed it backwards and went back to Black Ops 1.
Oh, really?
Because pretty much all my time in Black Ops 1 is playing Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
And there was quite a lot of people who liked watching that sort of stuff. Even though it wasn't the current Call of Duty, like Search and Destroy community was still pretty big on Black Ops 1, even a year after.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Modern Warfare 3 was terrible.
Some people were really successful,
thought it was.
But it was only
yeah.
It was only gameplay guys, like people who could get like Moabs and
like triple Moab.
At that point, before I'd started playing competitive, I wasn't good enough to do that daily.
Yeah,
like I have like 10 Moabs or something in total.
Yeah, I've only played Modern Warfare 3 a handful of times. Like I was really hesitant to get it, so I kind of waited and I just played it on my girlfriend's brother had it, and I tried it and I was like, I don't think this is for me, which I'm glad I didn't buy it because I wouldn't have liked it.
Have you ever wondered what it was about like zombies? Because it was zombies, I guess, that kind of got us both into Call of Duty. Like I ultimately went to the multiplayer side and you went to the zombie side. But
what is it?
It was after the campaign playing zombies where I started taking notice of Call of Duty. What do you think it is about zombies that made it so good?
I think it's a combination of the community behind zombies at this point is really big. Like the Easter eggs and everyone's so captivated by the storyline and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And but back then it was the breakaway from COD had Modern Warfare or COD 4 and then they came out with this new thing and it was the exact same thing, but you had this other sort of game mode that was so free and it didn't matter you have to capture the objectives or anything, but it was still Call of Duty. You're still running around shooting stuff.
Yeah.
But the enemies don't shoot back. So it was kind of like, I find when I play zombies, I almost zone out and I don't even really think unless I have to. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's still competitive, not competitive, but you want to make it to a high round and stuff. So yeah. It's a lot more free. Like, I was never good at multiplayer, but I could get into zombies because I didn't have to play against other people, and I always knew what my opponent was. I always knew that I can just kill this. But with multiplayer, it was a lot more competitive. And it was a lot more is this going to be a good team? Are they going to beat me? Am I going to have a really good game today? And then tomorrow's going to be a low and stuff. Whereas zombies to me was always so even. I knew exactly what I was going to get.
Yeah. And
it was just this chill experience where you're just killing zombies. And it's not it's either really hectic or really calm. And that wasn't anywhere is the same as multiplayer. It was just different, and that's what I think. At least for me, that's kind of how I got so into it. Plus, you're blowing zombies' heads off, which is
because from the outside, it seems pretty mundane.
Yeah.
To on paper, explain zombies. Oh, it's an endless wave of zombies that run at you, walk at you, and
then they slowly start running.
And
you
just kill them until you die.
It sounds like what's the point? And that's terrible. The other thing is, it's infinite rounds. So there's the bar can always be set higher.
What happens after round 99?
You keep going. It goes to 100. It goes
Does
beyond
it go to 100? It didn't
used
to, did it? I guess you'd keep playing, but the level wouldn't change.
Yeah, I know. The original Nocturne's Houghton had so many exploits and hacks that you could just have so the zombies wouldn't hurt you. You'd be in a wall and stuff, and that was only 99.
Okay.
But I know Shino Numa, the third one, I think it was Yodi Slayer, got to around 1,337. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's,
and I mean I've seen like people.
That's like 4 days worth of playing.
Yeah,
It's gotta be.
honestly, it's actually really short because only 24 zombies can spawn in at a max. So it's like with any other map, the amount of zombies that spawn in per round just keeps going up and up. But with Shino Numa, it didn't. There was like a cap.
Do you think you would have enjoyed zombies so much if you'd like played it on your own?
What do you mean?
Well, I think what I really enjoyed about it was I was playing with my friend, and
Oh, okay.
there's that sort of aspect of you've got to like save each other. You know, someone goes down and you've got to save them, and there's just hilarious moments like when you go down on like the first round or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I think that was a lot of it at the start. And I'm much more of a solo player now just because the maps are so complicated. And when you have someone that's bad and doesn't know what they're doing, it just can be so frustrating. But back then, yeah, it was like all about the experience. Like I remember, I think like the third or fourth day, we had like a snow day and we were up like all night and like trying to get to a high round. And it's like, oh my God, we're like round 20. And
Yeah, round 20 and Nectar when Totten was like
very
huge.
good, yeah. It was like pure luck. Like we just got like nukes at like the right time and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't kite zombies. You
No.
literally you ran away from them until you were in a corner, and hopefully you'd have two like heavy machine guns
Or two ray
just
guns.
like
Yeah. And you just hope there's none
as long
coming
as-
when you
I
reload.
mind like me and my friend would like someone would shoot while the other would reload.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "I'm reloading." And
Yeah.
I think it was quite a good like bonding experience. Like I remember just having like the best time ever.
Oh, it was a
Like,
great
doing-
time, man. It was such a good time.
And we'd like, did you ever see the film Shaun of the Dead?
That's the one. It's like it's like a parody kind of where
Yeah.
they go to the bar. Yeah, yeah.
That's
The
kind of what it
Winchester.
reminded me of because we were just like laughing, holding off zombies all the time,
Mm.
and my friend would like, would say like quotes from the film, like he'd shoot like someone out window, and be like, "Sorry, we're closed." He's got like a really wicked imagination.
Yeah, yeah. It was just like that. It was so chill yet so intense at the same time. And I haven't. Very few games have caught my attention like Zombies did the first time I played it.
Yeah.
Titanfall did for like a day, and then
Yeah, it didn't last, did it?
No, did you play Titanfall?
I got that on the computer, and I did what you did. Is I played with the controller,
Yeah,
and it was fun, but it just felt like there was no sort of togetherness in it. It very much felt like 5 people on each team playing like a game on their own.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's not what you want from a multiplayer experience. Like
The execution was good. Like the game design, like all that stuff is like, wow. The first time I play, these crazy robots falling, I was like, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as you unlock more guns, there's only like 10 guns in the game, I think.
Yeah.
It just got really stale really quick. And, I don't know, maybe part of it for me at least was PC, that I didn't know anyone on PC, so I couldn't play with anyone and all that
Same,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm honestly like I'm kind of disappointed.
It's hard to tell why it didn't do as well as everyone was expecting. Like it wasn't even sort of, oh, this might be a COD killer. It was sort of a given that this was gonna take it over.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, this is it, new Call of Duty." I was like expecting there's gonna be like this new sort of like remaking of the COD community, where like back in the day, like I thought it was gonna be like that all over again, and now it was.
The thing is though, because Ghosts, and I'm pretty much talking about the multiplayer side of things, like there's not many people playing that.
No.
And there's not many people posting it.
Not at all.
Nothing has really taken it over though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean,
like
maybe
no
I'm just
real
not
game.
clueless these days.
Well,
But I feel like I
now.
would know about it if something, like people are going back to older Call of Duties,
Yeah. Now it's.
but it's still a much smaller community than when they were in their prime.
Yeah.
Older Call of Duties.
Like GTA did well,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of come to an end. I mean, if you got into it at the beginning, people, you could still make videos like for updates and DLCs and stuff. And that honestly, like I think GTA outsold Ghosts,
It
but
did really, really well. It's
yeah,
still like it's still an if you have a really large TV, like GTA is so, even though it's on a 360 and PS3, it's so beautiful to look at.
it's
And
it's a great game to play, man.
yeah,
I played on the other night with a couple of friends, and we're just like running around. It like a lot of people made like funny moments videos, and
yeah,
I was
I
kind of
even I
like,
did a few of them.
yeah, so did I, and I even forgot like because when I did them, like I really did it like legit, like oh my god, this is funny. And I thought a lot of people kind of, at least over exaggerated it, which I admit, when you're making a video, you might over
Exaggerate.
exaggerate stuff. But I go back and I was just like laughing for half an hour. Like I was in a helicopter and someone like ran into me and we exploded and just crazy stuff like that. That
Oh,
just,
I'm gonna start playing again. Like I had my Xbox tucked away in a cupboard, like gathering dust,
yeah,
because I have a nice PC, and I was like, I'm gonna use this, like Call of Duty. Because for me, like the reason I sort of stopped playing, not just because Ghost sucked, was just because where I live in the world and my connection's really bad,
yeah,
and it was just sort of like this is more frustrating than it is fun.
exactly. Yeah, that's the thing.
But but GTA doesn't really have that sort of problem, so
No, and you could play online, or you don't have to play online.
yeah.
So yeah, GTA did well. I was really looking forward to Elder Scrolls Online, which was a flop as well.
That's just come out, isn't it? Like
Yeah, it's like I think it's like
to pay per
$15 a
month.
month.
Yeah, that's too. I'm not doing that.
No, and you have to pay for the game on top of it, which is
Oh, really?
crazy. It's
Both.
$60, then $15 a month.
I think
So
you to warrant that you have to sort of put your life into the game to get your money's worth,
yeah, that like
and I like a game that I can sort of pick up and
just
like I
kind of
like a game that I have to learn, but I don't have to. It's not just about the time you put in.
yeah. I think this is a bad time for the gaming community, just with the new consoles coming out,
Yeah,
because
there's a
not
lot.
enough people have them yet.
It's a big transitional period. Like I don't have a new console that, and
No,
there's
me
really
neither.
no reason I would buy one. There's not enough good games. I think in a couple of years' time, I will probably get one. And
Yeah.
even though the graphics will be sort of outdated,
Oh, dude,
graphics will get better. Like graphics aren't at their peak on the new consoles. Like
no, like
you
they
might think
get
that they
better
are,
and better.
but I even went back and like I played Black Ops 1 the other day, and I was like, ew, this is grainy
Yeah, yeah,
in
it's
comparison
not
to
as
Black
good.
Ops 2
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and COD Ghost. But I feel like maybe if you want to say the gaming community as a whole, I think your honeymoon period maybe for gaming is over. Like, and for a lot of us, Call of
Yeah.
Duty was that honeymoon period, and I don't know what it's going to take for something to make you feel sort of that feeling again. I think if you're young and Call of Duty Ghost is your first game, you probably think it's absolutely amazing.
You
Like you
probably,
probably think
yeah.
like every year people, and it's a lot of the older guys are complaining about Call of Duty. These guys that post, and you wonder if it's not really the game. It's your sort of tolerance to the game that's
Right.
changed so much.
Yeah, you just get tired of it. But I think I don't know, are FPS games going out of style? Like that's kind of
Maybe.
one theory I had. I don't know.
I
Like
mean, yeah, because sort of even though it was Titanfall and it's new, it's still pointing and shooting at people.
yeah, and like
It
this
doesn't
new
matter what game I play. If I'm playing team deathmatch, I've done it all before. I've seen it all
yeah.
before.
Yeah. Have you seen stuff for what is it? Advanced Warfare?
I did watch the trailer and I saw that Sledgehammer Games was making it and not
Yeah.
Treyarch, and I
Yeah.
and I pretty much lost interest after that from Sledgehammer Games. And I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
just about
what?
cried when I heard there's no zombies coming this month or this year.
Yeah, that doesn't look bright at all. Like,
Well, here's my thing is I think at first I was really depressed and then I realized, you know what, if they give it another year, more people are going to be on the new consoles and it might be exclusive at that point for like COD might be exclusive for Xbox.
it's probably still coming out on PS2, man. I really,
I
I
don't
doubt,
know.
I
I
doubt
hope
it.
not. Or I hope
I
it's
doubt it.
primarily cuz like uh on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox, COD 4 didn't go out on the older consoles. It was only on PlayStation 3 and Xbox. But then World at War was the same thing, except they like remapped it over to the old consoles. So if they make it primarily for like the new consoles and then just map it over, I'm fine. But like Ghost was mapped, I think, for Xbox 360, and then mapped over to everything else.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Maybe they were
sure.
expecting sales for new consoles to be low. I mean,
Well, I'm sure they were
I
because
never got my 360 for years. I think I got my 360, which broke well before I started playing Call of Duty, but I got it when Fallout 3 came out.
okay.
And that was like years after it'd been out already.
Yeah.
Like I just was happy with my PS2.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and PS2 had like still my favorite games of all time, I think.
I actually got a PlayStation 2 like a couple months ago just to go back and
Oh,
play some old
man.
games. It's good. I have that in a GameCube now, so whenever I need to just rock out,
Nice.
play some old school games.
Do you have Super Smash Bros?
I do. That's a great one.
That
That
was
and Mario
that was the
Kart.
game that I played with my friends back in the day before like multiplayer and stuff. I played that, and then on my own, the games that I play on
Right.
my PlayStation 2 would be like the FIFA games.
I never.
Or
I don't. I don't know. I just don't really like sports games. I don't know what it is, but they've
FIFA's
never.
probably the
appealed to me.
biggest one that there is.
Definitely,
I
definitely.
mean, it's not. I mean, it even does quite good in like America and
Yeah. Well, in
the Southern
Canada,
world.
it's all about the NHL, but.
Yeah, I used to love those games. Actually, they were really fun back in the day when they were really not complex and you could just pick them up and play without knowing what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But now, because FIFA, you can still do that. You just pass the ball, but that's a lot harder, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely more popular in like South America and the UK,
Yeah.
but it is popular, isn't it?
See, I don't play FIFA anymore because I suddenly became critical of games. Like I used to just buy every FIFA because it was the new one for the new
Right.
season, and then I was like, well, this game sucks compared to the last FIFA game that I liked was the FIFA 2010 World Cup game. That game was amazing, and then I'd compare everything else to that, and instead of it being, oh, it's just a new FIFA, you play it.
Right.
It's I don't really want to, because it's not as fun.
Yeah. Are there any games you're looking forward to at this point?
The only game I can think of is the new Metal Gear Solid, and I'm not gonna be able to play it
Right. I never thought
Because
about that. That'll be good.
because you're maybe a bit young.
I've only played the most recent, like number 4 on
Yeah.
PlayStation 3.
I literally watched that game be played online, which I think is what I'm gonna have to do for.
It's a movie though. Like you can do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's not really about what you do in the game.
No, it's more about the
final
storyline.
The final cutscene is an hour and 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first got my PS2, the game that came with it was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Really.
And that's
Yeah.
sort of like it's like a crap birthday present. It like sat in my room and I never played it because it was too tough because I was about 11 years old or something like that.
And the funniest thing about that game was like Metal Gear Solid 4 is at one point he's having a flashback and it's the same graphics as like the old school game he was playing.
Yeah.
So it's like him in the past, but it's the same graphics as what it looked like in the past. I like that.
Metal Gear Solid was fantastic. When I figured out, when I was sort of, I guess, old enough, my friend came around and he was like, dude, I got past this bit that we couldn't get past, and we like complete the whole game in a day, and it was just like, whoa, that storyline is in depth. I don't
Yeah.
read books. I play video games with storylines like this from now on. It was great, and then yeah, that was PS2, and then Snake Eater was PS2. I also played Final Fantasy X.
I've played 7 because I hear that's like the best.
I need to play that.
Yeah, I've never beat it because I suck. Well, I sucked when I played
It's hard
it.
to go back if you never I never loved that game at the time, and it's hard to go back and deal with
The
no voice
graphics
acting and
oh,
stuff
that
like that.
too, yeah. See, if you played it in in the time like when it was new, you can deal with it because like nostalgia. I think like Pokemon's a great example. I still go back and play the old school Pokemon games because I love it.
If you had just got into the most recent Pokemon, I doubt you'd go and play Yellow. or
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
You're like,
Exactly.
"Ugh."
Yeah. It looks awful.
I haven't played the most recent one because I don't have a 3DS, but it
No,
looked pretty good. I got bored. I finally got bored of the Pokemon games. I think it was Black and White. I did get those.
Oh, okay. I stopped at Emerald.
I was like, oh my god, the same thing keeps happening, game after game.
Yeah, I stopped at Emerald because I didn't get it like a DS or whatever. I was like, I don't know if I want to buy it because I didn't really like the Pokemon and stuff. But Oh man, the old games are my favorite, like
Oh, they were
Blue
great. It's
and
amazing the
Silver.
memories that get left in your head from these video games that we
Yeah,
talked about. Like
yeah.
I remember it was Christmas and I was eating Christmas dinner and I had Pokemon Blue on my giant ass Game Boy,
Yeah.
which is the equivalent of about six iPhone 5s like, stapled together.
Yeah.
And
Right. Blue was on the old, like, big one.
yeah, it
And
was
then Crystal and Silver were the Game Boy Colors. That was my first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember
Good
like
times.
I was so young and so stupid. Like I got stuck really badly in that game. I still remember playing it and I'd gone for Charmander. As you do.
Classic.
And I didn't know about the Pokemon Center until after I'd beaten Brock, which I still am not sure how I did that.
Dude, I
Because,
couldn't read when
yeah.
I played it. So I like
You didn't need to. You just click, click, click. Like I
well,
just want to
that was like my
catch
thing. Like it
Pokemon.
took me like a day to get out of my house. I was like, oh my god, there's this giant bigger world. Like I was like 5, so I couldn't read.
Yeah.
And then like I go into the professor's house and he's like, pick a Pokemon. And I didn't know that he wanted me to pick a Pokemon, so I wanted to leave his house and he wouldn't let me because he wanted me to pick a Pokemon. I didn't know. And I was
But
like
yeah. Well, I didn't know about the Pokemon Center. And I think you could get healed by your mum talking to you. She'd like make you rest.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
assume I accidentally just been doing that.
you just
And
kept
then
going back.
so I beat Brock with this Charmeleon, which was like level 25 something like by the first gym. And I ran out of like power points for like attacks, and I was just struggling. And I ended up with like this like level 50 Charizard by like Diglett's cave, which was because I was waiting for the Saint Anne to come back, which it
Oh.
obviously doesn't do. And then at the end of the game, I lost against the Elite Four somehow with my probably a level 100 Charizard.
Oh wow.
I lost and I just switched my Game Boy off and started a new game. I didn't because that was the first time I'd ever died or like lost all my Pokemon,
Really?
and I assumed that was game over.
Did
so
you
I,
never
I started the
save?
game. No, I'd saved, but like
Oh, okay.
I was just so young that
You
I
just
think I was probably
screw
really
it.
upset. It was like a rage quit.
That's like the ultimate rage quit.
Yeah.
That's like rage quitting in COD and then like restarting your account. Oh my god. All right, let's move away into like a question or something.
Yeah, let's do it. That was the longest like opening statement.
No,
ever.
that's fine. That's good. All right. If you had to move somewheres, let's say for you, like out of the UK, where would you go to live?
To the States, I think
The States,
definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Specifically, anywhere in the States?
Does that uh one extreme to the other. Probably either I'd go to California and live like a hipster douche, or I'd go to the busy lifestyle of New York or something like that. But I think when I was younger, I always wanted to live in America just because there's a huge influence even from the UK. From like the films that you watch, most films are filmed in America, right? So
Yeah, right.
so I still plan on moving to the States at some
Oh,
point.
okay.
I'd like to go on a holiday there, maybe later this year.
Right on, right on.
But yeah, I would like to live somewhere that is English speaking, I think.
Yeah.
Just because I think to like, I love going to places like Spain and Italy and stuff like that, but I mind when I was making friends with people at uni who were from different countries, I find it hard to like connect with people emotionally if you're not
You don't
speaking a
speak the
first
same
language with them.
Right, yeah. Yeah, what's it like traveling when you live in the UK? Because like I've been to Italy and it's like such an ordeal. Like I went with it was a school trip and it was literally a day and a half to get there, just airports and planes and like we missed a flight.
Yeah,
But
no, like even though Europe's so small in comparison to Canada and North America, it still
Yeah.
probably takes like the same amount of time.
yeah, I think
Well, no, like it's like I guess for me it is because I have to get a plane off my island which I live on, and then get myself to London to Heathrow, and then it's like a 2-hour flight probably to somewhere in Italy. I've actually been to Italy and it was probably the coolest place I've been to. I think
Italy is badass, man.
it's got like so many of like the wonders of the world. Like if you go to like I've seen like the Statue of David, the Leaning Tower of Pisa,
Yeah.
Colosseum, and the Vatican, and all that stuff. And it's like, wow, they're all in one country. That these guys
Yeah.
are artistic. These
Yeah.
guys were the ultimate hipsters.
Yeah. What's the place? It's like the ruins. Starts with a P. Pompeii. Have you been there?
No, I've not. They just made a
Okay.
film called Pompeii, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
It's
That
got
was
Jon
cool.
Snow in it from
Game of
Game of
Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, the Coliseum was like the worst experience for me
Yeah.
because we did these like guided tours, and our tour guide insisted on telling us all about it rather than like letting us explore it. Like we did it like guided tours for everywhere. So like we had a guided tour of Pompeii, like the cities, and we could go around and walk through it for a bit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the Coliseum, she just like took us into this off room, so we couldn't even like look out into it, and like told us about what it would be like to be here back in the day and like all the history. And I'm like, I don't care. Like if I wanted to know that, I would have just, I would have just gone ahead and like researched that.
I actually that's interesting because we had avoided all the guided tours.
Yeah,
They're
I
expensive,
wouldn't recommend
and I
them.
like doing things at my own pace.
Absolutely.
But we didn't get the guided tour for the Colosseum. But there's all the ruins just like right next to it.
Yeah.
And we got a guided tour, and it was from this American woman, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, some were good, some
I think
like this
a
one
lot of that
weren't.
would depend on who you got. Like we had this like American, I guess she was like a post grad or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was really passionate about this history, and she was really good at what she did.
Ah, okay, yeah. See, that's cool, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's really cheap. Like once you're in Europe, just to fly wherever, isn't it? That's what I've heard. Anyways.
Do you know the most expensive flight I get is leaving my island.
Oh,
Shetland.
really? Okay.
It cost me like well over £100 just to get to the nearest Scottish like landing point.
Oh, wow.
Which is like nuts.
Yeah,
I mean, there's jobs you can get. My friend Liam, who I was talking about earlier, he's just about to become a firefighter, and they get like 10 free flights a year.
Oh, that's so awesome.
But
is it just
so
like
I'm gonna have to be a firefighter, I think. That's the swinging point.
that's it right there.
For those flights. Because otherwise, yeah, like once you get to like London,
Yeah.
then you can fly you can fly anywhere in the world from London, pretty much.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's sort of central.
Yeah. Man, the UK, as a Canadian, the UK is so confusing to me.
I bet, yeah.
Like, you've got like so you've got England, Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Is that about it?
Yeah. So
No, but
the Republic of Ireland is completely separate.
Yeah, it's not part of the UK, but the top
yeah,
part of Ireland, Northern.
But the UK or Great Britain, there is a difference. I think the UK doesn't include Northern Ireland, but Great Britain does, and I'm not even clear on that. But
Okay, yeah. And then there's like the Isle of Man and like the British Isles or something. And...
Yeah, there's some islands that are sort of independent, and I live on an island called Shetland, and I think quite a lot of people here would like to be independent.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of oil and there's quite a lot of money in Shetland, so they'd probably be okay. But there's actually a huge thing coming up at the end of this year. There's a Scottish independence election where Scotland's going to break away and be completely its own country, which I'm not going to get into because it's this huge sort of debate and topic. And it's
isn't Scotland already its own country?
Yeah, but like, so I guess it's sort of the same, and I can only sort of I'm not sure how it is in Canada, but in America you have your sort of laws that are sort of state laws, and then you have like laws that like are for like the whole of the US and stuff like that. I guess it's
federal
kind of like
and state.
It's kind of like Scotland, sort of a state of the UK.
Okay, yeah.
If you want to, but yeah, sort of like that. And so a lot of the decisions are made in London, which affect Scotland, and a lot of people want to just break away so that the Scottish government just controls all the decisions and things like that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's the biggest thing going on in our country right now is should we be independent or not, and the vote is this year.
Is leaning towards it. Yeah,
it's really hard to tell. I think it is, and I'm not going to say what my stance is on it. But,
that's
I think
similar
no matter what
in Canada.
happens, it's a huge sort of deal because it's going to be close, and no matter what happens, nearly half the country is going to be upset with the choice that's made. And I'm quite worried. Like, no matter which way it goes, I wish it was like a landslide victory, but it's not going to be.
Yeah, just everyone be happy with the decision.
But that's never going to happen.
in 1995, which was when I like it was like literally the day after I was born, 1995, October 31st, which is Halloween. I how did that work? There was like a proposition for Quebec, which is like a pretty big like province, which is the same as
Yeah.
state, to separate from Canada, and that's sort of the same, but it would be more like Shetland, like just like one little area of Scotland breaking off. And more importantly than that is the problem with it is it would have separated Canada. So there would have been like half of Canada on one side and then in the Atlantic where like I live on another.
Is Quebec quite small, or is it more the population
Oh,
that's quite small?
it's got a pretty large population, but it's big. I think it's the biggest province
Okay.
because it has a lot of like northern place where not many people live. That's
Yeah.
a lot of Canada is.
Is Quebec where there's quite a lot of French speaking Canadians?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
The thing, like, there's 30 million people. So you think 30 million people over the second biggest country, like, that must be really, everyone must be so spaced out. But everyone lives on the border because that's the warmest place to live.
Yeah.
Like
You've got
it's
the whole sort of tundra area up there.
yeah, like no, well, I won't say nobody lives up there. I'm sure there's someone like, oh, I live here, you asshole. But most people, I should say, live just like southern, like on the border.
I need to come to Canada, man. Like
It's a good
when
time.
when I went to Italy, the choice was Canada or Italy. I went with my mother, and we
Okay.
chose Italy. I think because I'd been recommended by a friend, and we went
I
on that.
I'd recommend Italy, but then maybe it's because I live there.
But I had a flatmate from Canada who's from Victoria
Yep.
side,
Yep.
and
That's a little island.
yeah,
I know actually two guys from there. Been
and
there.
he was awesome. We actually had quite a few Canadian friends that year, and
Yeah.
I need to come over and see some Canada and visit some friends and stuff like that.
Yeah,
'Cause
well, the thing
everyone I met that was Canadian were so pleasant and like,
that's the
just fun
thing, and like I don't
nice.
like to say like, oh, we're nice, but in my experience, anywhere else I've gone, it like if you meet someone like you're from Scotland, you're a nice guy, but just like random encounters, people are overly nice in Canada, like stupid nice. Like if I bumped into you, you'd say sorry. Like just stupid. I don't get it, but
I can be a bit like that personally because
yeah,
like, I do a customer service job, so
right.
you have to be nice to people. But I sort of almost take that into just like everyday life.
Yeah,
Like
well
I
that's
held
what
a
I
door
mean.
for someone yesterday at college, and he was like 20 meters away, and I was holding that door for a long time, and I was
You're
like
Canadian. That's like it right there. That is it.
and I
Holding
was
the
like,
door
man,
for everyone and saying
this is a long
sorry
haul.
for something you didn't do. Yeah. But no, it's like I said, like you're a nice guy, and like I'm not saying like people from other places are mean, but it just you experience like such a high ratio of that in Canada. It's weird. I mean, there's a lot of dickholes in Canada.
Why
Don't
do you
get me
think that
wrong.
is? Like it's because it's not like that. Like
I have no idea.
here, and from what I gather in America, like there's a lot of people who don't have the time of day for
Well,
for you. And, like I
Northern
always think bus
America is
drivers
similar.
are like the best like example. Like finding like I used to get on the bus all the time. I don't anymore, but it was like finding a nice bus driver is like a needle in a haystack. Like they're all like assholes.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Because I find Northern America, like Maine, like the whole New England area, which is like northeastern kind of,
Yeah.
which is really close to where I live, is basically the exact same. Everyone's really nice there. They just have guns, basically, is the difference. But
that's the only difference is
that's
they have a gun on.
really, man. Like oh my god, like you go over there, like just cross the border, and it's like, oh my god,
Do your
everyone
police
has
have guns?
Yeah, yeah.
Because they don't over here.
That's I don't know.
It's quite like yeah.
Maybe
Like,
that's good
we
though.
We have like armed response. For
Well,
people who are gun trained, but like regular police
yeah.
don't have guns. But then again, like it's not. I don't think it's easy to get a gun over here.
But no, yeah, that's the thing is no one else has guns.
Yeah.
So I think like in America, people say, "Oh, you got to take the guns away." Well, that's not really going to stop bad people. That's just going to stop the law obeying people.
The thing, like, it's sort of like you can't change it now
No,
because you're not going to
exactly.
be able to confiscate all the guns of everyone. So you kind of have to let everyone have guns, or else they're not going to be safe.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
But because like here and like for example, there was a horrible shooting in a Scandinavian country a few years ago, and it took a long time for them to get someone there to take this guy out
Yeah.
because
Right.
the police didn't have guns and stuff like that. But it's a much rarer, and this could just be, I guess you could say this is population, sort of statistics is like the whole sort of public sort of shootings and acts like that are seem to be a lot rarer in countries where not everyone has access to guns. Like it still happens, and you can't stop it happening. You get crazy people out there,
Yeah,
but
it's such a weird thing that it's so hard to fix. Like I
you can't. You can, like in America now, you couldn't just say no guns because there'd be still so many people who just wouldn't hand them over.
exactly.
And then you'd feel like if you didn't have a gun, you'd be even less safe.
Exactly. Only the people who would are the lobbying people.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's pretty screwed. All right, another question. This also ties into like countries and stuff. If you could eliminate one country from the world, what would it be?
Oh no!
Yoon's about to piss people off.
Oh no! That's an impossible question because like sort of on like we're saying how Canadians are all nice people. There's like no matter where you go, there's like nice
There's
people
always
and
nice people, yeah.
assholes.
Okay, how about
So
I change it to this? All right, you're going to eliminate one country in the world to change it the most, and not like change it for the better, but just what do you think would have the biggest impact of removing like one country?
the biggest impact would be like, and I'm not. This is my answer, but the biggest impact would be the States for sure.
Yeah, yeah, because they're the largest economy.
Yeah,
But like,
like
what about like what if you got rid of China? Like that's a lot of stuff that's not being made anymore.
oh yeah, like China's like bails out the States all the time
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because you could that's interesting because like you could think like Russia as well, who are like there's a big thing they've
yeah. A
invaded
lot of stuff
Ukraine and
there.
stuff like that, and if you
Right.
took them out, stuff like that wouldn't happen. But then
Ooh.
there's also like bomb scares of like North Korea, where you're just like,
Yeah.
is everything gonna be okay? Like,
Maybe we just maybe we
are
just get
they
rid of North
joking?
Korea. No one in North Korea is watching this, so we're allowed to say that.
I feel really really sorry for people who have been born in North Korea
That
and they just
must
have this completely different idea of the world
isn't
from
that
what we
weird?
do. Yeah, it's
It's
just they're
so
living in a
weird.
completely different world than what we are.
Yeah, like
So shut off.
they're not even like living on like Earth. It's like
They're like the homeschooled like country.
yeah, yeah. Really, that is so like yeah.
Like having said that, like I'm not like having to go at people that are homeschooled, which really sounded like I actually like see a lot of like it doesn't really happen so much in this country. I know it happens a lot more over there, your
Yeah,
side. I,
homeschool's weird.
I think if you can do it right and keep your
That's
kids
the
social, then
thing.
that's not the problem because I have a huge problem with the education system. I don't think it works very
No,
well at
man,
all.
it's
And sometimes your
kind of
parents are the best
faulty.
people for teaching you, but it's just finding
As
that.
long as you have that social structure in other places, like you maybe you do still do sports or you do something along the
Oh
lines
yeah,
of that,
you
it's
can't
okay.
like this is like the homeschool parents who who don't let their kids go outside
Yeah,
without their like bulletproof vest on
yeah, that's
and
the thing,
and
and
their cyanide capsule in case things get a bit hairy.
there's cyanide caps. That's the thing is, I find like now that I'm going to university next year, and like people I know who went this year, like the people who are really sheltered tend to do a lot worse. Like the people who never drank, the people who never like were allowed to be with like boys if they're a girl, things like that. I find they do a lot worse. Like I
Well,
know
here's the thing: like you can be as smart as you want, but if you don't have the social skills to get that job in the first place, or do well in that job, unless you just stay on in education and become like a sort of like a
like a PhD kind of professor.
yeah, someone who is literally in a lab working all the time,
Yeah.
then you really struggle. It's the people who can balance their life because you're not balancing your life if you just do good in school and have no social life at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I've seen a lot of people like
Hmm.
just kind of like go off, and it's really weird because like they were so like straight A students, and then they get to university, it's like, oh my god, I have so much freedom now. And I think it's good to have sort of balance before that. I mean, I don't know what you were like when you first got to university. I mean, everyone parties, right? But
Yeah, I just I'm a really bad example. Like I because I got like straight A's in school and stuff, and I sort of walked through everything. And I
Yeah.
didn't go to many classes in my first year. I just partied. It was very
Yeah.
much a social thing. My grades were fine. And then I remember when I got into my third year, I only halfway through the year I started going to lectures because suddenly my grades came back and they were for the first time really bad.
Oh, really?
Because I think that was the first time where it caught up with me. That was my like limit breaking
Okay.
point
Yeah.
where if I don't go to class, I'm not gonna pass. Sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
But I think like you need experience is like the biggest thing. Like you need life experience. Is like
Yeah.
as big as anyone like the degrees. Just like lots of people have them now.
Yeah. It's like,
People
what's
go to college. People get a degree more than ever, and that is by no means enough. Like yeah, you have to do so much more.
Yeah, well, my brother's girlfriend just got her master's like a year ago, and she can't find a job.
Yeah,
Like, it's not even like a undergraduate degree. It's like everything. Like,
my degree will probably never come in handy again in my life. I don't.
yeah, you think it's just kind of something that you should have. Just
I'm really undecided about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're planning on studying or where you're planning to go to study, but
I'm doing business next year, which is
yeah,
yeah.
that's still one of the more beneficial ones. Like,
I think so because I want to do something where I'm like self-employed. I'm just not good for having a boss. Like
that's
I
the
work at a
YouTuber
golf
personality
course.
right there, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Like, yeah, I work at a golf course, which I think we were gonna talk about a while ago, but and like there's this one guy there who like was really really bossy, and he's not even my boss, but he like just tells me everything to do. And like a great example is last night he wasn't even there, and I feel like I worked like 100 times better because no one was there to tell me what to do, and I just did what I had to do.
Oh, that's the same. Like I want to be self-employed. That's the goal. My sort of whole
Yeah,
thing is I'd like to run some sort of websites.
yeah. I think that's where it is, man. I
Work
think
really
that's where
hard
it is.
until they sort of run themselves.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then I'd quite like to do the whole sort of stay-at-home dad thing and spend time with my family because one of the things that I think really sucks is the breadwinner dad of the house like never sees their kids grow up. And I think
Right.
that's something that so many people would regret, and I never want to go through that.
Yeah, and even if I mean, maybe you still work a lot at home,
Yeah,
but
you're
at
at
least
home.
you're at home. Yeah, like I'd rather work like 10 hours at home than like 7 hours wherever, right? Because then your kids are always there. If you need to drive them, like, yeah, that's fine. Because like let's say you're a YouTuber, for example, like, yeah, you have to work a lot, but you can choose what hours you want to work. Like I can work from 1 a.m. in the morning till 10 at night if I or 1 a.m. Yeah, 1 a.m. in the morning to 10. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, which is something very very appealing to me.
But back on track, like the whole, I think a degree it's less sort of about you need to sort of know what you want earlier in life. I think these days,
Yeah.
which is tough because nobody does. Like everybody like evolves and grows and change. Like I change what I like every 6 months.
It's so hard.
But a business degree is general enough that you're not pigeonholed to a career, and it's broad enough without being useless.
That's exactly how I feel.
Whereas
Like
I did sports and exercise science. I was actually listening to your other podcast and I see that you do like a module like that in school.
yeah, actually, I'm taking that right now. I think I have that next class actually.
And
I do. Yeah.
and I sort of lost interest in it, and I
Okay.
thought the course was taught really well. And for me, those three years, although I had a great time and I met like some of the best friends I'll have for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
career wise was a really bad decision. What I should have done is just started working or doing something like that.
That's how I feel. Like about if you had asked me a year ago what I wanted to do, I was gonna say, well, I'm probably gonna go do a science degree and get some sort of job, but I don't really have any idea. Then in the summer, I had like this crazy epiphany, like, holy crap, I don't wanna be working for someone when I'm like, older. I want to be working for myself, and I don't think I can do that through sciences. So I read all these books and stuff, and it was a really big eye-opening experience for me. I was like, oh my god, I think I almost just made the biggest mistake of my life, like going into university. And I was like, you know what? I think business might be the best decision because, like you said, it's there. It's not really specific that if I don't like it, like I'm just totally screwed. Like if I had done maybe like biology or science,
Yeah.
and it can't like it. There's so many jobs in business, so at the same time, you get such an good understanding of the world, I think.
Do you know what aspect of business you'd like to sort of major in?
I'm not really sure.
I feel like coming from the YouTube side of things, what you'd be really good at is, because this is all about like marketing is everything on YouTube.
That
marketing yourself.
The university I'm going to, like I picked my major my second year, so I have a lot of time to think about that. And I'm marketing is a thought in my head. The other thing that my course or my university offers is entrepreneurship and innovation, which sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what Steve Schwint did. He did like
who's that?
He's a YouTuber. He stopped doing it.
He sounds. I feel like I've heard of him before.
I was a big fan of his back in the day, and he did entrepreneurship. And I don't think they have like a sort of equivalent like that over here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if it's the best game plan, but I feel like it's not going to limit me to anything, and that's what I don't want to be, is like limited to one thing and then realize I hate it.
I hope that if you're still interested in YouTube when you go, because so many people fall at this hurdle, is I hope you keep doing.
Yeah,
your
I'm
YouTube.
most likely going to keep going. Like, that was one of my big decisions for university, is how well the internet is at places.
I think that's right, because you've worked so hard over the last almost 2 years to build your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to give it up.
It's not a job. You do make some money off it, but you don't make like a living off it. But it's actually a huge amount of experience that you are getting from it.
Absolutely.
And you should take that forward, because the more you learn in your business course, I bet you'll find things even in your first year that you can sort of put into your YouTube channel to make it more successful and better.
Yeah, I think so.
I think what a lot of YouTubers did, a couple of the YouTubers that were a few years below me, and I saw them go to college and they stopped posting, is they always try and make a comeback.
Yeah, and I've been there before, because I had a channel. We should probably get this wrapping up, but I'll just finish at this point. I had a vlogging channel a long time ago, and I think I'd grown up to about 800 subscribers. And back in the day, that was like not a huge amount, but it was more than it is today. Anyways.
Was it called the Smith Vlogs?
Smith Vlogs, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had like a really hardcore community of people who watch my videos, and I'd get like maybe 100 views per video to 200, but I get like 50 comments. Like, I just had crazy good fans.
I did the same thing when I was at university.
Uni?
I had a yeah. you at uni.
Yeah, you at uni. And like, I quit it, and then like a year later, I was like, man, that was the biggest mistake of my life. And now, like, I learned from that. It's like, okay, well, I shouldn't quit. There's been low points in my channel where it's like, man, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, just so much stress involved in it. And then it's like, wait, why would I quit? Like, I've worked so hard into this, and like, I will regret it in a couple months even if I give up. So.
Oh yeah, like I'm not sure I really regret it, but like I've killed my channel. Like, I've self-destructed my channel so many times.
Well, let's send some people over there, guys. Go. I mean, there'll be definitely a link down in the description. But if you guys want to go check out Uoon, you do a lot of Smite.
I do Smite and I do Call of Duty.
Yeah, I saw one of your most recent ones that you just did a live comm. I think it was Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I tend to just I like the sort of realism of like live comms, and you guys get to see you get to see how awesome I am every game.
No one does those anymore, and that's what I hate, because like everyone I subscribe to is like changed now. So whenever like someone posts a live comm, it's like so exciting to me that I actually get to watch someone just play. Because
I started watching XCal, I was like I guess snobby in the way that I played Call of Duty. Is like even though on Black Ops 1 I will never get the FAMAS off my top spot in the guns, because just when I was a noob, that's what I used. But like, I always used the worst guns or had to do a live comm, and all my montages are like daytages. Yeah. Because I always wanted that. This is how good I can play every single day.
Right. Yeah.
Was what I was always going for, because I was always amazed by like XCal. He would do like his first live session ever playing like Black Ops, and he'd get his first game. He's like, oh my god, look, I got the highest kill streak on my first live. Look what happened by accident. Yeah. Right. I do a lot of live comms, and I'm gonna bring back the sort of post commentaries, right? Because I think that's what my channel was really
I like those too. Yeah, that's what I'm all about watching. But yeah, so I guess we'll wrap this up. Guys, there will be a link down to Uoon's channel. You can go check him out. Like I said, that's what he does. And I guess that's the episode. I don't think I have anything else to say.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's again sometime.
I know.
There's so many topics that we
I know. I could keep going forever.
Yeah.
We should try to get Serial back in here. I think he's been really busy.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother asking him. But if we did like well, not like a great debate, but like the three of us doing just another like podcast or something.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Definitely.
All right. Bye, guys.
Ciao.